So I was kind of forced to take on a new belief system because I hit rock bottom. My
Hmm.
world fell apart, literally, you know? And I'm glad that it did because it allowed me to question everything that I believe. And more importantly, where did my belief come from? Whose belief am I living? Those are the questions I'm
Whose
asking.
belief am I
Whose
living?
belief am I
I'm
living?
following somebody else's belief system, and
Holy
how
cow.
is their life going? See, the thing, like you just said, we got to look at who our belief system came from. And
Mm-hmm.
now, as adults, we got to look at their lives and see what they're doing. And if
Yeah.
their life is trash, and they're older than you, where do you think your life is going to go if you're following their belief system? If your parents' life is trash,
Mm-hmm.
your life is going to be trash too
Mm-hmm.
when you get their age because you're following their belief system.
Exactly. Yeah. Good day to you, my yin yang fam. It's your girl Trinity, and I'm back with another episode on His Yang. Wait, what is it? His Yin, Her Yang Media TV. Today's topic that I wanted to talk about with you guys is when a man is a prize, the woman becomes a blessing, right? Our society has made it such that a woman is not a wife, or should I say, a woman does not become a wife until after the ceremony. And I find that ironic, especially when the ceremonies I'm speaking about is of the Christian faith, right? I've never been to any other weddings by any other cultures. So it seems to me that even when I was getting married, right? Yes, we did the couples counseling that is mandated in order for us to get married by the pastor of the church that we had our service in, and it was weird because she never mentioned anything about how to be a wife, you know, and this is coming from a lady who's supposed to be a pastor that's going to be marrying me, right? And I didn't realize until, well, what is it, 10 years later, almost 10 years later, I had the idea of what a wife was all wrong, okay? And I think that also contributed to why I picked them, why I didn't pick them, I approved them, right? Why I approved the man that I had chose to marry. Had I known marriage to be how I see it today and how I know it to be today, and if I had the example of what a wife looks like, I would have not married the man that I did, but we live and learn. So today I want to talk about that. I want to talk about men being the prize, right? Because in order for a woman to get married, she would have to have somebody to propose to her, right? It does, like, she cannot get married without the groom. And I want to bring awareness to how to pick and approve and choose, all right? So we need a standard to move by. And for me, that standard of living is through the Bible. And I know that the Bible may turn a lot of people off, but, well, it keeps other people together. So those are the people that I know that I'm going to be able to reach. What is a wife? A wife is a disposition. Hey there, Aaron. A wife is a disposition, and it's not someone you become. Hold on, let me see if I can invite. Yeah. Hey. Oh, let me put
Hey,
you
how are
back.
you?
Good. It feels different being on top. Okay, that might have came out all wrong. How are you? Did you get rest?
I'm doing good. Yeah, yeah, I'm good.
Good, good. I haven't slept yet. I got 2 hours sleep all day,
Mm.
but it's cool though. So yeah, so like we were speaking about earlier today about the wives and the men being the prize, right?
Hmm.
I see where the disconnect. is why so many people are struggling in their relationships. And it will also answer the question that you had earlier to your audience, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty much, why do women pick poorly? That's pretty much what you were asking, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We pick poorly because it's comfortable. Who
Mm-hmm.
we choose is comfortable to be with. There was a guy that I was into, right? I mean, like, I was head over heels with this dude. And I didn't measure up, right? I didn't measure up
Mm-hmm.
because he wasn't ready for a relationship or whatever the reasons may be, right? But even after like a decade later, right? I knew that whatever was going on, in his life back, 10 years before was completely over with, in that time. So my
Mm-hmm.
question was like, yo, damn, like, yo, dude, like, why you not like getting with me, right? I kid you not, Aaron. I listened to this Kevin Samuels dude,
Mm-hmm.
and he got my mind thinking, right? So I had to really literally do the math. If there is more of this and less of that, then this becomes most valuable.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need statistics and numbers to see 51% to 49%, 30% to, like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the numbers are important, right?
Right.
But the exact number is not important. You just need to know if it's more or less, pretty
Mm-hmm.
much. So if there's more women than there are men, I got to compete.
Yes.
Now I have to measure up. I can't expect this man to settle down, like settle for less.
Not the expectation, no, because we will, but maybe not.
No, no, no,
You.
no, no. When I say settle down, I mean date down. I
Okay.
should have said that. I'm
Oh, you
sorry.
said date down. Gotcha.
No,
Okay.
I said settle down. I said it completely wrong.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
Okay.
heard me right. I just said
Okay.
it wrong. Okay. Yeah, we
Uh-huh.
expect men, because you have to think about the logic here. Because I've done years of research and study on this whole thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you think you're the prize, you're going to act like the prize.
Mm-hmm.
For generations, women have been told they are the
They are the
prize.
prize. Right.
If you hear something repeated over and over and over again, what's going to happen? You're going to believe it.
You're
That's
gonna
how
believe it.
right. That's how our belief system grow and develop,
Mm-hmm.
right? You
Right.
keep hearing it over and over and over again. And then when you have someone who doesn't know you try to tell you that you're not the prize, but the opposite gender is, oh my
Yeah.
God, cognitive dissonance is going to kick in high gear.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though the number says this, right, your belief system says that. And because your belief system goes against your new information provided, your mind is going to fight against the new thought.
Because it's deep rooted in your subconscious, and no matter what is going on in the world, if your belief system, like, it could be as simple as somebody who eats chitlins, right? The whole house can stink and they still going to eat them because their belief system tells them to eat chitlins. Now, somebody who does eat
Mm-hmm.
chitlins, they're going to be like, yeah. And you ask them why, they be like, they be stinking. Oh, no. They're not going to even know why. Their belief system is just going to tell them to eat them. It could stink and everything, but they're still going to eat them because their belief system told them that this was what you're supposed to eat.
Yeah. You know what? I saw a study that was done, and it shed light on everything. This is where
Mm,
I began to just accept what is, okay? It's bananas, like literally bananas. Okay, so these and I'm gonna give you the short version. Okay, so there was group A monkeys, right?
mm,
So they were monkeys from group A. They were like, let's just say there were 5 monkeys, right? Now the scientists hung a bunch of bananas from a string and put a ladder under the bananas.
mm,
So every time a monkey, right, went up the ladder, the other monkeys would get sprayed with water.
mm.
So every time a monkey went up the ladder, after a while, right, the monkeys would drag him down and beat him up.
Right.
So they would remove 2 monkeys and replace the 2 monkeys with
The
the
new
other two.
monkeys.
You already know where
Yeah.
I'm going with this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So same scenario, banana, new monkey goes up. The first new
Mm-hmm.
monkey goes up. He, you know what I'm saying? He comes down and they just start beating up on the monkey. The second monkey that just came in doesn't understand what's going on. He just sits back and watch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but but he's noticing that every time a monkey goes up, he gets beat up. He gets beaten down. He gets beat
Mm-hmm.
up.
Yeah.
So long story short, they replaced all the 5 monkeys with all, like rotating them, taking
Mm-hmm.
one out at a time, 2 out at a time. Before you know it, no monkeys were reaching for the banana.
Mm-hmm.
So one monkey asked, "Why isn't anyone like reaching for the banana?" The other monkey said, "I don't know. Nobody's doing it."
There's a belief system. We just ain't doing it. There's no reasoning because the thing about your belief system, there's no reasoning to your belief system. It just
Right.
is.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
just like believing in God. And the atheists come up and say, come on, man, you actually think is a dude up in the clouds talking to us. Come on, man. You're going to be
Yeah.
like, dude, you are crazy. Go away.
Yeah.
But the atheists would actually have a point. But no matter what, you still are going to be like, bro, you're crazy. Get away from me.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild. So we're pretty much monkeys, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the show of the past generation circus.
Mm-hmm.
We just have to play our roles.
Yep.
Or like get off the bandwagon,
Mm-hmm.
So it's
And
the
that's why I
same.
can't come in. I'm actually the water being sprayed on the new monkeys every time they go up trying to be a single mother.
Exactly. That's exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Single motherhood is bad. Stop climbing up the ladder to
Mm-hmm.
try to have a baby by a loser.
How dare you?
Right. So, yeah.
So I had to ask myself, I said, okay, so what is the problem with our relationship dynamics, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it dawned on me, we were never taught relationship skills. We
Nope.
were taught how to appease, pacify, and fit in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what we're doing.
Yep.
That's exactly what we're doing. We're doing exactly what we were taught. So in order for us to do things differently, collectively, we each have to move individually so that the other people can see the change.
Yes. And
Because
see the change actually being proven to work also. Because sometimes you can't tell if something actually works until you step away from everybody.
exactly now it would take that one monkey it will take that one monkey to go
Mm-hmm.
up the ladder and take a banana off, come down and see that nothing happens.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yep.
first, that takes courage.
Yep.
Courage is scary.
Mm-hmm.
It's scary. It's scary to be different. It's scary to be different because you don't know the result of those actions.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we need to be the example of the change
Yep.
we want to see. You know what I mean? And,
Yes.
I was thinking, I said, okay, fine. So what are we missing? And I'm like, all right, a template. We need a template to follow. Christians, the template for a Christian is the Bible. Okay? So everything that's in the Bible, and if I'm going to say that, okay, I'm going to live according to the Bible, right? I got to actually live according to the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
That's the sucky part. It's so much fun believing things until you actually have to do it at the most
Yeah.
inopportune time. Okay? But I got my directive because I don't have any, physical examples of how to make a relationship work because the majority of my people, what
This
is
is my
that?
This is my template right here.
Okay, okay.
It's
You got
called
your,
the seven. It's called the 17 Principles of Letting Go.
oh, love it, love it, love it, love
So
it.
I have a
You got to share that with me
Yeah, I have
in a
a
bit.
it's what we go by in my coaching group.
Okay.
So just like now, we just got out of class and one of the young ladies was having an issue and
Mm-hmm.
all of the things that I was saying were literally directly coming out of the 17 principles of letting go.
Nice.
I was just saying, you got to be at peace with being misunderstood. That is
Mm-hmm.
one of the principles.
Yeah.
Nobody cares what you want, is about what you negotiate. That
Mm-hmm.
is in this list of principles. And I was literally knowing them verbatim, just, conversationally telling her the 17 principles. And then I told her, I said, So what I need you to do is just go back to the principles and study the principles and
Exactly.
utilize them, which
Yeah.
is, like you said, a template. Because it's one thing about having a belief system, but it's another thing having a foundation, a template, or a principle, because we have to be
All of them.
principle driven.
All of them. Yes.
Yes. So it's one thing about being belief driven, but I am belief and principle driven.
Mm-hmm.
So, because the thing about it is, it's important for all of us to question our beliefs,
Yes.
because do they still go with what's actually going on? And that's when the template comes in. We
Mm-hmm.
have to update our principles, our foundation, different things like that. We can't
Mm-hmm.
just keep running around following this blind belief, because things can change.
Right. I mean, I had to, well, I didn't choose to change my belief system. I just needed a belief system because remember, I shared my
Yeah.
story about earlier.
Hmm.
So at that time, I was, and I know what you're going to say, but I do agree. But I was a control freak. I was always in control. So I thought,
Hmm.
okay, you're only in control until you realize you're not.
Yes.
And
Yep.
and after that happened and my world completely dissolved,
Hmm.
everything I believed was gone. It vanished along with that world, along with that
Yeah.
reality. So I was kind of forced to take on a new belief system because I hit rock bottom. My
Hmm.
world fell apart, literally, And I'm glad that it did because it allowed me to question everything that I believe. And more importantly, where did my belief come from? Whose belief am I living? Those are the questions I'm
Whose
asking.
belief am I
Whose
living?
belief am I
I'm
living?
following somebody else's belief system. And
Holy
how
cow.
is their life going? See, the thing, like you just said, we got to look at who our belief system came from. And
Mm-hmm.
now, as adults, we got to look at their lives and see what they're doing. And if
Yeah.
their life is trash, and they're older than you, where do you think your life is going to go if you're following their belief system? If your parents' life is trash,
Mm-hmm.
your life is going to be trash too
Mm-hmm.
when you get their age, because you're following their belief system.
Exactly. And then I'm like, okay, wait. How much of the crap that I believe did I actually experience?
None of it. None of it.
I'm like, no, well, it was some of it, but very little.
Mhm.
Very little. So little that yeah, it could be said none of it. I'll
I
give
always
you
get
that.
people to ask
Yeah.
themselves, am I believing this, or is this the stupid shit that my mama taught me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just ask
And
yourself that.
it's wild when you really sit back and I had to like literally rethink God, you know,
Yeah.
and rethink people and their motives and their intents and their reasonings for and their mindsets, their level of consciousness that they're moving from. Had my world didn't crash, the world that I created for myself wouldn't be as glorious as it is today.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So I think the first step is healing and healing without anyone in your life. Because I don't think it's fair to invite someone into your toxic home
I
and
agree.
expect a healthy visit.
Hmm.
It doesn't work.
I agree. I agree.
So I'm like, I gotta find ways to be able to express what I've come to learn.
Hmm.
And that what do you bring to the table question, which is
Hmm.
synonymous for, what can I look forward to while being with you? That's pretty much what it's saying.
Hmm.
What can I look forward to? Like what can I expect to feel around you when I'm around you? How can I expect to feel when I am around you?
Yeah.
So I realized that Proverbs 31 was perfect because the 10th verse says she's rare in stature. That means she's different than the rest.
Hmm.
So that means that I can't be like all of the people that are being idolized because they're the same. And
Well,
I,
yeah, that's the thing. See, I teach women how to be different, not the same, because most women are the same. And I'm sure
yeah,
most men are the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I enjoy being different.
I I do too. I do too
Hmm.
because I like to shock people. You know, they're like, "Whoa, I didn't expect that." I'm like, "I know, I know." You know, so she's rare, and because of her rarity, she's valuable. It goes
Hmm.
back to that orange. You know, if you have
Yeah.
more of this and
Hmm.
less of that, well, then this is more valuable.
Yep.
So I'm like, okay, I would like to tell my female listeners instead of trying to go after that high value man or that high earning man, become that rare, valuable woman
Hmm.
because
Yep.
you attract what you are. So if you want to attract someone of stature and substance, well, you have to become it first.
Hmm.
You know, the second thing is she doesn't think of herself as a queen that wears a crown, right? She becomes that crowning joy on that rests on her husband's head.
Hmm.
Stop chasing the crown and become the crown.
Okay. Okay. I
That's
like
what I
that.
would say. Yeah, don't chase the crown.
Hmm.
Become it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Three. Her man is a gift sent by God, and she demonstrates her appreciation of God's gift. So therefore, there's no sense of entitlement. When you have a gift that you appreciate, you hold on to it,
Right.
right?
Right.
When especially like you get a new car as a gift, you're not
Hmm.
gonna like run it, on a racetrack. You're gonna take the least bumpiest roads.
Hmm.
You're gonna park in stalls with the widest spaces. You're
Hmm.
gonna protect it. You're gonna make sure that it's nice and it's maintained and it's sustained. You dig? So,
Yeah.
you know, men aren't something that is owed to us. Okay, men are gifts given to us because we are non-deserving. As the human species, we
Yeah.
deserve absolutely nothing, but we are
Yeah.
worthy of great things. So that sense of deservingness, I think, brings on a sense of entitlement. But when
Well,
you
let me
do that,
add something to that. Let me
okay.
add something. I think we all have to earn whatever it is that we have. Now, is a different
Hmm.
way a man earns a woman versus how a woman earns a man. It's
Explain
totally
how.
different.
Explain that. Like, explain it because I want to know it from a man's perspective. What do you mean
Okay.
by that?
A man has to be productive in order to be able to provide and protect that woman. He has
Hmm.
to be productive financially or, but at the same time, he has to be productive in his own life so he can actually be going somewhere so he can lead her. So he
Right.
has to be productive, actually producing something.
Hmm.
A woman is the opposite. The way she earns a man's favor is in preservation. The less she has done, the more valuable she is. It can even be traveling.
Yes.
To be women like, yeah, I've been to Dubai, I've been here, I've been to England, I've been da 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 da
Hmm.
da da.
Hmm.
You find a man that wants to marry you, he, even though it's awesome to travel the world with your girlfriends, but there's no newness. You ain't never did. A man wants to see what you have preserved for him. If you've done
Mm.
everything sexually, if you've done everything this way, there's nothing left to experience for the first time with a man. You haven't
I'm.
preserved anything.
I want to say something, but I want you to continue
Hmm.
because I need you to go deeper in that. There's this I there's this belief that
Hmm.
men want women who are experienced in bed to please them. What do you say about that? So in other words, like for them, it's like the more sexual partners I have, the more experience I'll come with, and then I can just like throw it down in the bedroom.
No, nobody. Only traumatized people, male and female,
Hmm.
look at sex as the primary thing. You don't hear white people, Chinese people, Indian people being like, "Oh, she gotta have this and that." You know, if you look at the shapes of Chinese, Indian, white people, they look like aliens naked. If you just look at just, you know what I'm saying? They don't even look good. They don't look good.
I know what you mean.
They aren't even attractive
They
humans.
lack contour and
They are, yeah,
shape.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. They're not even attractive human beings, right? And I think that's one of the issues that we have as black people. Black people are the most attractive human beings on the planet. So because of that, we look at sex and sexiness as the number one thing that we want. And I think it has hurt us because no other culture really gives a damn about all that stuff. They care about, like, is the man a provider and have the woman preserved herself for marriage?
Yeah.
But over here with men and women, you want a man that don't did all this stuff. You want a woman that don't did all that stuff. And we're just so sexually motivated. That's the reason why but it comes from trauma, because to go deeper into this sexually motivated thing, it's about the need for dopamine. See,
Yes.
the typical person, human being, is oxytocin driven, which is love, which is bonding, which is safety.
Right.
Black people don't trust nobody. And we've been so hurt and traumatized. Well, we don't even care about oxytocin no more. We care about dopamine.
Yes.
I want a nut. Women be talking about, I want a nut. Nut, 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 nut. Sex, 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 sex.
That.
Bang, 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 bang.
That's
Because we are so dopamine driven where we just don't care about oxytocin no more because we've been hurt and let down and betrayed so many times. Well, we just like, man, forget all this bonding stuff. I want to catch a nut. Who's going to help me catch a nut? And then we're running around looking for that and then get mad when there's no love.
Right. You know, and I'm going to have to agree with you. And I would also like to add to that, right, is that all right, so so we have a conundrum going on in the female species, okay? And the conundrum is this, right? We're told we cannot depend on we can't depend on men for our financial needs, right? And we cannot depend on them for our emotional security, right?
Cultural, not humans then. Because now we're just talking about black people.
Right.
Because other female species, they're fine. They're good.
Oh, no. I mean, that's all I talk about because that's all I
Right.
know. I've never been Asian. I've never been Caucasian. You know what I'm saying? I could only speak where I've walked, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, for future reference, I that's all I know. So, and I don't know any other culture, really. But, so we're told that. But our biology and our makeup calls for us to be together. You understand? That's how we were created to be. So, what we've inadvertently done was settle for the sex.
Yes,
You
that's
understand?
it.
We just settle for sex and we'll make a way on our own. Now, another thing I want to mention is that we have men out here, right? I'm not going to say men, I'm going to say males. We have males out here who do not make it comfortable for the woman to actually be able to walk into her feminine energy. Because he's expecting his mother.
Well, no.
Time out.
Okay, go ahead.
Time out.
Go ahead.
I'm going to explain why.
Okay.
Because he sees what his mother was able to do. She was able to go to work, come home, cook dinner, get the homework done, do whatever that needs to be done. So he's thinking that his woman can do that too, right? But what he's not understanding is that mother, although she's a female, she's primarily operating from her masculine energy. Because like you said, the masculine energy is the doing. It's about doing, right? Go to work, get the career, do this, do that, so you can have this, have that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, with the father, right? Now, with the father, with like daddy's girls, I was a daddy girl.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have to do anything. Okay. I just had to be his
Mm-hmm.
girl. You know what I'm saying? I had to be his
Right.
little girl. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, all I had to do was behave,
Right.
be good,
Mm-hmm.
be kind, be respectful,
Mm-hmm.
be thoughtful, and don't be rude. These are all actions of, well, these are all characteristics of being.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yeah.
So for me, I would be looking for that from a man. You understand? I would be
Yeah.
looking for my father in a man,
Mm-hmm.
a man who will allow me to be that feminine individual that I know that I am.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
But when
So,
you don't have a father and you see
oh my
your
God,
mom
it's
and your
horrible.
mom requires you to do everything. See, this is why it's so important to have a father. And this is the reason why I have so much of a problem with the single mother epidemic,
Mm,
because the single moms don't understand how important it is to grow up with a father, because a father will put a woman in a position where she doesn't have to do anything. She just has to be. But when you have a mother, she requires you to do all of
yeah,
these different things:
yeah.
cook, clean, do this, bring me a remote control, go do this,
Yo,
parent your siblings,
wait.
all
I'm
these
sorry. Oh,
things.
I'm sorry. Wait.
Mm,
Your mother did the remote control thing too? I thought it was just
mm-mm.
mine.
No, no,
Like,
no. My mom didn't.
your mom didn't call you to give her the remote control?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you're lucky. I did.
That's the typical mom
Yeah,
thing,
I'm
though.
like,
Yeah.
but yo, right there.
She requires you to do. So when you grow up as a woman,
I
all
do.
you know how to do is do.
Yeah,
So women who have fathers, they grow up learning how to be.
exactly. And a mother cannot be a father in that sense because she's too
Mhm.
busy worried about having to get things done herself. If she would have made
Mhm.
better choices, she wouldn't be in that position. So
Right.
what we have a tendency of doing is that we make our children pay for our bad choices.
They're the stopgap to our lives.
Yeah. And
Everything
yeah.
that we were not able to do or can't do, we make our kid do. Even fulfill our own dreams. If I wasn't able to play football or this and that, I got my little son. I'm just making this up. Now I got my
Yeah,
little
yeah.
son playing football so he can fulfill my
My
dream.
dream.
He
Yeah.
probably don't even want to play damn football, but
Yeah.
I need him to fulfill my dreams. So it's
Yeah.
the same thing as bring me my remote control, fulfill my dreams, go play football. It's the same old stuff.
Yeah. And what's even more disheartening is that these women that you're speaking of, when they do have children by men, that weren't fitting or suitable to be a father to their child, right? The child has to literally not live their life until their mother passes.
Yes.
They cannot live until their mother passed because they are now
Damon
becoming
Wayans
they
actually
are
said that.
now they are now becoming their freaking mother's husbands.
Damon Wayans said that specific thing. He said, I did not remarry or I did not want to remarry because my mom was my everything.
Yeah. And she did not
It's just
require
crazy.
him to live. You see,
Hmm.
his mom could have still been his everything and still been required to live had she made
Hmm.
better choices,
Yep.
you know?
Yep.
And it's like, I mean, like, my siblings get upset with me and I'm like, listen, I didn't have my mother. My mother had me. Okay? I am not going to stop my life,
Yep.
right? But I will contribute to hers as much
Hmm.
as possible without losing myself in her life.
Right. Right.
I did not have my mother. She had me.
Mhm. Yep.
And I would never
You
ever
do
expect
know a lot of women, they have children. That's why I'm so against this crap.
to keep them
They
company.
have they have children to love them. They don't
Remember?
have children so they can love their child. They have their child so they can love them. So the child becomes their proverbial pocket knife. You know
Mm.
how you have that little pocket knife where it got some scissors, it got a
Scissors and
screwdriver,
the
it got some
utility knife. It's
tweezers,
called a
it got a
utility
little,
knife, right?
yes, so your child is kind of like a utility knife
Mm-hmm.
where one day you feeling lonely. So you call your kid in the living room to watch a movie with, right?
Mm-hmm.
Another time you feel like, you feel insecure,
Yeah.
right? So
Uh-huh.
you go to your kid being like, son or daughter, what do you think about this outfit? Oh, you look pretty, mommy. Now your daughter is making you feel less insecure.
Yeah.
When you feel you need more physical touch, what do? You start hugging your kid. All of these things are out of or a screwdriver, the scissors, the tweezers, the pliers. You're
Yes.
using your child for all of these different human needs that usually come from a man, but you just had a child, and now they're just your proverbial pocket damn toolbox.
Yeah.
Every time you need something, you get it from your child instead of from a man.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they have kids with no fathers, because they don't want the damn father. They want the kid
No,
because
no, no, no.
they don't trust men.
Yeah,
See,
wait.
the
Yeah, yeah,
typical
yeah.
black
Ah,
woman does not trust
I
men
agree.
and they don't trust women.
I agree.
So they
Yep.
have a baby because that's the only person on the planet that they actually can trust. Someone that came out of their body.
No, someone they can control. They
That came out of
trust.
their body.
Yeah, yeah. They trust who they control, who they can control.
Mm-hmm.
They
Yep.
trust who they can control. And the reason why they don't trust men, because they can't control them. Even when they
Well, they
try to
don't
go
trust
into the
women either.
relationship, because they can't control us. You
Mhm.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you
Well,
can't control anybody. You can't
to be
control
honest with
nobody.
you, the need for control is different because why do they need to control? It's simple because they've been hurt so much by women and betrayed so much and abused
Mm.
by women. And then they've been hurt and
And
betrayed so much by men.
I never
So it's
thought of
not
that.
about controlling, it's about fear. See, the reason why people stay in bad, terrible jobs because they are afraid to find a better job because they're just like, what if the better job is even worse than this? Or what if the new boyfriend is better than this? It's not about control, it's about fear. And then it's control. So the fear, the distrust, the betrayal starts first.
Mm-hmm.
When you talked about this, when you got emmed or whatever, or people
Mm-hmm.
around you, you went to the person that's supposed to protect you, and they said, "I don't believe you."
Yeah.
Now you just like, and a woman said that, so you're like, "I don't trust women." And then you went to a man, you're like, "Yo, this happened. I don't believe you. I don't trust men." So next thing you know, you like, "Yo, I don't trust
I'm
nobody."
in a world by myself, and I didn't trust anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And my distrust was so deep. I didn't even trust a therapist
Mm-hmm.
that I had to see after my first suicide attempt because of what happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just couldn't trust her,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't get to. I mean, I went for the help. I received the help physically, but I couldn't truly accept the help. Does that make sense? You know,
Because in order to see, it's difficult. Just like we go back to the doing.
mm-hmm,
See, it's very difficult for the typical woman to accept. That's why they love talking about, I'm a giver, I'm a giver. You're a giver because you're afraid to accept.
yeah,
You don't want to accept because every time you accept it, you got hurt. So it's just
mm-hmm,
easy to give things out, to push things this way, to give because you're pushing things away from you. Giving is pushing something away from you.
yeah,
And that is safer. Doing this is safer than doing this.
mm-hmm,
Accepting scares the shit out of the typical woman. So
Yeah.
they just rather give, do, instead of accepting, because the acceptance scares the shit out of them.
Yo, and you're not lying. It took the man that I'm with now, right?
Mm-hmm.
He got the best version of me. Okay, he literally got the best version of me because with him I am able to be in my feminine energy, remain in my feminine energy, to where I am able to receive all that he gives me. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I could be in the kitchen, doing something, and he'd be like, "Yo, you need help with something?" And I'd be like, "Yo, God, yeah." Whereas before, I was like, "No, I got it," because
Mm-hmm.
I felt that I had to have it.
Yeah.
Me having it, all taken care of is what made me that strong black independent woman.
Mm-hmm.
Not realizing that was making me a weak coward cowardice,
Mm-hmm. Because
afraid
simply
of.
being an independent woman is saying, I don't want to accept anything because I'm afraid to receive.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yep. And it stemmed, I think, from me, it stemmed from a few things, but one of the most major thing is that it's thrown in my face. Like if you do something for me or give something to me, don't throw it in my face.
Why do women
Don't
get
use
so
it.
upset
Don't use
about
it to
that?
manipulate, because it's like you're trying. No, because it's done when I feel like for me. Okay, for instance, you did something great for me yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Next week you asked me to do something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, me, I never do what I don't want to do, but it doesn't mean I'm not gonna maybe want to do it later.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just can't do it now because I'm into something now.
Right.
Even if I'm just in my head, you
Mm-hmm.
understand?
Yeah.
So if and then they go, but when you asked me to do something for you last week, and you asked me like I did it for you. Don't try to manipulate me to get me to do what you want me to do by tugging on my emotional strings. Okay, do not do that
But
because
is
so
there
so
a
my
need for reciprocation?
no, I listen. I never require of anyone anything that I am not currently doing
Mm-hmm.
myself. If I am
Okay.
currently doing it, you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't give much grace because you have an example. Like I'm right here. I'm doing it with you. You know what it
Mm-hmm.
looks like. You know how it feels. You know the outcome because of how you received me and made you want to inspired you to want to do certain things.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like anyone should have to emotionally manipulate me. You know what I'm saying?
But is there emotionally
Just
manipulating them?
when you are saying to me, when you have to remind me of what you did last week just to get me to do for you this week, I could be petty and remind you of all the things I've done for you since I've known you. What good would that do?
Okay.
I did it because I love you. And
Mm-hmm.
love is a demonstration. It's an act. It's not an emotion.
Right.
So if I'm demonstrating love, you know, it's because I want to. It's not because I expect you to return any favors.
Mm-hmm.
Because the only thing I expect you to do is just be yourself. I don't want you to do anything you don't want to do, but you feel the need to do to get something from me.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? I need you to be you 100% so that I can have the opportunity to choose if I want to deal with you and all that you come with, because I'm going to see it anyway. It's going to come
Yeah.
out eventually. You know what I
But
mean?
what if throwing something in your face is them in a bad way, but they don't know how else to communicate? What if they say, "Well, all I done did for you, I did this, I did that." That is usually
So
that
you want, okay,
person's
so
wrong way of
ask me,
saying that I
ask me,
want something back and you're not giving it to me.
ask me that question just like that, because I've had that question to answer. Ask me. Go ahead. Say
Well,
it.
all the stuff I've done for you, I don't understand why it's a problem. I did this last week and I did that. I gave you some money and I fixed your car, but damn, I can't. Why you can't do nothing for me?
Why do you feel the need to remind me of what all that you've done for me when I can clearly see you already a great person? That's the only
Because you
reason why.
don't treat me like a great person,
If I didn't
and
treat you
I'm
like
I'm
it,
I'm
I didn't treat you like
expressing.
a person. Hold on,
Wait,
time out, time out, time
I'm
out, time
listening.
out.
Look,
I
I'm listening to.
apologize. I apologize if you ever felt that I didn't treat you like a person. What can I do differently? Like what would make what do you need to see
Ask me
me
what
do?
I want in return, because I do all this stuff for you. I don't mean to tell you or list the things that you do, but I don't know how to communicate what I need from you, and you keep ignoring and withdrawing from me. And it's not fair because I do all these things for you. Sometimes that person that's throwing something up in your face is they're not good communicators, and they're just letting you know, like, yo, you're depriving me of something and it's not fair.
So then my next thing would be this. Never do anything that you would require someone else to return a favor.
That's not how
Because
humans are.
no, I understand that, but that's the response. 'Cause my thing, and I
No,
wait, time out. Let me
I'm
finish
not
because
finna be with no woman that ain't giving me
no,
no sex.
time out. No, hold on, time out.
I'm not finna
See,
be no woman who's not gonna give me no
dude,
support.
that's not what I'm referring to. Okay,
Okay,
okay, sex, that's different.
support. I'm
That's
just giving
different.
you things.
Support.
I'm giving
No,
you
no, no.
different
My
things.
thing is okay. If someone asks me, yo, can you go to the store for me? Something simple like that.
Hmm.
Go to the store for me. And I'm like, I don't feel like going to the store right now. Oh, but I went to the store for you last week. Yeah, okay. But I also bought you something last week. I would never send you to the store for me or ask you to go to the store for me without treating you because you spared me. See, I think it's because of my character and who I am, which is why I can say what I say and how I say. Because not everyone can come with what I come with. Because I
Hmm.
am genuine. The Bible says the Lord loves a cheerful giver. I'm not here to please myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to please God as if he was next to me. Like I live my life in the now, right? And from the perception of spirit. So for me, my world is the I that I am, the I that cannot be seen, is already in the spirit world, right? Spirit doesn't move outside of itself, okay? So spirit is in the spirit world. And I am looking into the human experience from the viewpoint of the body. So I come with an understanding that I am here not for me to be selfish and want because I'm going to have everything fulfilled because my provision comes from God. So
Hmm.
I am not the person that needs to feel like I have to keep somebody in my space, even if I'm hurting them.
Hmm.
So if somebody ever comes to me, which is how I
Well, just
got,
understand everything you said, nobody knows.
yeah, I understand, but nobody
So when
knows
you're
until I say
dating,
it.
but even when you say it, they're not gonna know because they ain't gonna understand what you're talking about. So when you are dating somebody, you can't approach a situation like they know what you just said.
I have, because what I say is only what I know. So the only thing that he
But
can
they
do at this
don't
point,
know it
hold on,
because
hold
they're
on,
not
hold on.
you.
I know, hold on, sweetie. With him, we are on paper. Me and him, we don't work
We
out.
just saw the typical relationship though.
No, I'm saying right. No,
Yeah.
but we have typical problems. It's
Mhm.
misunderstanding. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Our relation, I am different, but I still have the same freaking type of problems. So I understand. Like he doesn't know what I'm saying, but what I do notice about him is that he observes my behavior. So
Mhm.
I stopped talking as much and started being more. I
Mhm.
could have said like, "Oh, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this. I'm not like them. I'm not like that. Stop telling me about these other women because I'm not like them. Stop trying to like, dude, I'm not them." And I realized that it didn't even matter what I said. He's waiting to see differently. So I noticed that like when I would get upset, right? I already knew he was waiting for me to go into the mode that he's accustomed to with the other women.
Mhm.
You know how some women are
Because in our
soft and
minds,
sweet.
most women act the damn same, and it's yeah.
Yeah, because you
So
know
he's
what?
waiting on you to act the same.
He was dating a female.
Hmm.
Okay, he saw the female in me first before he was able to appreciate the woman that I am.
That's all of us.
You know what I'm saying? So he saw me as the as the typical individual who says the same thing and then eventually would turn and become this three-headed monster.
Mm-hmm.
But with consistency, consistency changes minds.
Mm-hmm.
And because my actions were aligned with my speech, with everything I said, he
Right.
was able to feel comfortable and relax around me. In other words,
Mm-hmm.
he's not waiting for the shoe to fall off.
And a lot of men and women are in relationships just waiting for the
Waiting for
other
the
shoe to drop.
yeah, yeah,
Because
and
it's just some typical stuff. People be lying. People be making up all kinds of crap, acting like they this and that, male and female. Women do the same thing. So we can't do nothing but do that. But you have to respect the person in their process. We
oh
can't be like, well, I'm
yes,
this and I'm that. What is wrong with you? Why don't you see this in me? Because they don't want to see that in you yet.
yo, dude, not even that. He couldn't see it in me.
He don't,
He
yeah, he either
he
don't want to see it, or he can't see it.
he
We can't
couldn't.
get mad at people who don't see us
Oh,
yet.
oh, and he couldn't see it when I wanted him to see it because what he was looking at wasn't what I was displaying.
Exactly. You mad at him.
The nerve.
Yeah.
I was like, holy crap.
We're not you. So we don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then
And,
y'all
and,
get
and, and
attitude with us because we don't know something because all that other, I'm a spiritual, I don't know the hell you was talking about. I'm sure your man don't know that he's talking about
no,
until he got to know you.
no. We knew each other since 2003. We worked
But you
together.
get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying.
Right. Because he didn't know me.
Mm,
He knew of me, and it wasn't until we lived together as friends
mm,
first, because we were like, he was my homie. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna help him out.
mm.
And it wasn't until we lived together that I realized I had no clue who this man was.
You're
I
gonna help
had
him out? What do you mean? Help him out? He ain't had nowhere to
oh
stay?
no, he did, but I just didn't think it was fitting for him. And
What was
so
fitting for him?
the space
Why?
too small, no privacy. Like I can't hang out there. So come do what you got to do, save your money, get a bigger apartment, and we rock on. It's cool.
Well, let me say
So
something to that. And this is said it about you, because our kids are grown, so we kind of like do what we want to do. But just know, hearing that message as a 22-year-old or 25-year-old or
mm-hmm,
30-year-old, they're gonna be
mm-hmm.
like, oh, okay, this female elder who is super, like not just spiritual, but smart as a whip. She met a guy and said, hey, move in with me and save some money so it's a convenience thing. And they can easily look at their
Convenience
lives.
for who? I wasn't moving
Hold
with
on,
him.
hold on. Listen.
Okay.
That was a convenience thing. Like he was living somewhere and you said, come live over here. The typical young relationship, that's how it ends up into single motherhood.
I get what
Because
you're saying.
either she moves in or he moves in simply to save money and to keep up with the other person. Because you don't know who they messing with, but if y'all live together, you'll have a better understanding that that person is actually
Oh no,
yours.
I
No,
completely
no, 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 no.
understand
That's
that.
not what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I get.
But what
No,
I'm
I'm
saying is,
understanding you.
as elders,
Mm-hmm.
whatever comes out of our mouths
Mm-hmm.
is the Bible sometimes, because we're
Mm-hmm.
elders.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to be careful in when we talk about our experiences, we have to kind of like put an asterisk behind it and be like, well, the reason why we moved in together is because we don't want no more kids or
Oh,
whatever.
okay. I see what you're
So
saying. So,
and a
okay,
30-year-old listening to you saying that,
I see what you're saying.
it can be confirmation to her being like, oh, I'm glad she said that because I was on the fence on should I let this loser guy that I'm dating to come live with me or
Okay.
this guy that I'm dating for me to come live with him because my lease is up. So because she said it, I'm going to go ahead and do it. Next thing you know, she's a single mother a year from now.
I'm not to blame for that. Again, like I told you
No,
earlier
no, no,
today,
no, no. It's not a
no,
blame.
I understand what you're saying. There's the way that
We
I'm
just
wording
have
it.
to be careful with our words. That's all I'm saying.
I'm very intentional with my words. I speak with intention and on purpose. I choose words as they are defined and use them within the context of the discussion. Never
But
do. Hold on. Let
sometimes
me
other
finish. Let me
people
finish.
have a different
Honey,
context within their own
honey,
lives.
all the time, all people have different contexts. I am not responsible for how someone receives me. I am only responsible for the intention of my delivery. I understand. Listen, I cannot explain my whole entire thing to thousands of people for their
I'm just
understanding.
let
But
me just say this.
I do get
I'm
what you're
just making
saying.
a point. That's all
I
I'm
do.
saying.
No, I do get you. I get it, and
Because if I
I
was to
accept it.
say, yo, me and my girl, or we
Do
doing this, whatever, I'm gonna have her come stay with me so she can save money on rent. I don't need no young person hearing that and being like, oh, I'm gonna do the same thing.
I got you. It's
That's
just
all I'm
you know
saying.
what? Okay, so here we go.
Because that's how the single mother epidemic keeps going.
If you seek, you will find. You understand? Anything that that person has intentions on doing, she will find confirmation in everything she looks at. Okay, that's number one. But you could also, I know you can appreciate what I said because I remember the first video that no, the first video I saw was Kendra's. And then that led me to your channel. And you were talking with a guy named SD. That was like, that's the one that I commented on. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you literally, it's hard to keep my attention for 5 minutes. You had my attention for 4 hours. I know your video was only 3 hours, but my connection kept going out. So I had to keep stopping and going, stopping and going. Right. But I remember the first caller that you had was with the lady in the car, and
Mm-hmm.
she was trying to tell you who your audience should be, right?
Mm-hmm.
And your thing was, how can I have an audience of that population if they're not in the auditorium to hear me? That's
They're
pretty
not
much what
there.
you're saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she was like, well, you can go the extra mile, and you're like, no, I'm not doing that,
I won't do that.
right? I'm only here for those who I can serve and help, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same
Yep.
here. Same here.
Mm-hmm.
Same here. I cannot help the individual who wants to be a single mother not become a single mother. I cannot help an
Um,
individual. Hold on, time out. I cannot help an individual who wants to be a single mother. I can't. Why? Because I speak everything against it. So if she's coming to me, you understand, and like how you're on the screen with me,
mm-hmm.
our discussion would be a lot different with her. You understand? But speaking with you and giving you my experiences, I'm not catering to the people who I cannot help, I cannot influence, or who cannot learn from me. And I am not going to
Well,
hold on. This is how I don't do what I don't. I have boundaries I don't cross.
let me say this. Let me say
And
this.
that's one
Wait,
of them.
wait,
I don't
wait.
focus on who I
Listen,
cannot
listen,
help.
listen, listen. This is the thing. What you don't realize, you do influence
I know
people.
all the
See,
time.
it's a difference between helping somebody and influencing somebody. I can't help everybody, but
Hmm.
I can influence people.
You do.
It's a difference. And let me give you an example. Help is a one-on-one. Help is joining my coaching group. A help
But
is sending me a DM asking me a question. Help is coming on my live asking me a question. That's help.
mhm.
Influence is me saying, "Yo, I do this," or uh, I vape. I don't, but I'm just saying I vape, right? And I'm sitting there vaping. I'm blowing smoke out of my nose, right? And it'll be somebody watching me be like, "Yo, that looks so cool. I'm gonna go buy one." The next thing you know, now they vaping. They don't need help, but I just influenced that person to go buy a vape pen inadvertently, and now they're addicted to whatever that dumb shit is they be doing. And I
Mhm.
just hurt that person by vaping on live.
I
They
got.
didn't need help. I
Hold on.
just simply
Time out. This said,
inadvertently
hold on. Time out.
influenced them.
This says I got 1 minute and 52. I'm gonna, stop it, and I'm gonna
Okay.
come back again. All right.
Okay. Well,
Because
I got to go, but we can reconvene on another day. I'm going out of town tomorrow, so I got to get a lot of stuff done before.
oh my God, where are we going? I live vicariously through people because I don't like to go outside. So where are we going?
I'm going to Ohio to film a show.
Oh my God, we're gonna have so much fun. What are we gonna do? No, but real quick, I do appreciate you stopping by and
Yeah.
gracing me with your presence. Like real quick, what turned me on to you, what made me hit that blue button that says follow,
Hmm.
is when you said this crap blew my mind. Women pick men they need to fix.
Hmm.
I was like, holy crap, follow.
Yeah.
I'm like,
But
yeah, because
look, I
yeah,
don't want the time to run out. I want you to
yeah,
stop it
definitely.
yourself because I want you to save it because I want to put it on my page also.
Oh,
Because
it
it's
won't
conversation.
save after? Okay, so listen,
No, no,
enjoy
no,
your
no,
trip.
no. Listen, 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 listen.